And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Minnesota Vikings. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Let's get up.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play. It's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Von Bell. And they will score a pick six for a Bears touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that. First drive, pick six.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game, getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Just like that. Just like that. Check 99. Check 99.
Snap.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
15 line. 15 line. Go, go. Get it. 2nd
and 4. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Bears in good field position to start out 1st and 10, right at the 50-yard line. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A huge play there for Chicago. 45 yards on the ground. Now Trubisky. Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him. I know some of the talk after last week's loss was the O-line struggles. They gave up 4 sacks. He got hit here and taken down again, so that's something to monitor.
It is something to monitor, but they've got to help their offensive line out. Maybe a little bit different play calling, right? Draws, screens, get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quicker, maybe some quick game passes. All of that to try and help slow down the pass rush and make things easier on their offensive line.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. And he's got it. 10 yards gets him closer, but now it's 4th and goal.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Vikings, they come up big down near the goal line.
Come on, set, 50, plant. He's tired of me. He's tired of us.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 12 at the 1-yard line.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Give to Cook out of the gun. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Colvin. And here's another interception, the 3rd of this first quarter. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And they take over already 5 yards deep into the red zone at the 15-yard line.
18. Watch the whip.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Oh, it was hit at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 13.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
Ready.
They start the drive with Cook. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Bilal Nichols.
Hey, back up.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Colvin, he's going to sling this. And got his man complete. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. 87 yards as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Check. Crunch.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. These two teams all tied after 1. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll run on second down with Cohen. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards is the pickup there and a first down for Chicago. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. It's a pickup of 10 and a Bears first down. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 43. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. On second down, it's Cohen. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now Trubisky to throw. Gets this to his running back, Tariq Cohen. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
He's coming. We got double up. Check.
Now Trubisky on first down. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Trubisky got his man, and it's caught for a Chicago touchdown. Michael Thomas with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Bears have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They trail a one-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up 1st and 10. Now Cook. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
On 2nd down, Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And he cuts it right sideline. And down to the 28-yard line. And he takes this all the way down to the Bears' 28.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They run. Cook looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. This one taken in by Olabisi Johnson. And they stop him short of the first, as he can only get to the 20. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. On the carry, it's Cook, and he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion, and defensively, pure frustration. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th play of the drive. From the gun, Colvin. And that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year, as they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And we're under a minute to go here in what's been an even first half, all tied up.
Yeah, still time to make something happen, too. A couple completions, you string them together, could get into field goal range. Let's see what happens.
Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Trubisky. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. Well, the incompletion, yes, but maybe here not the worst thing in the world?
No, not on 1st and 10. Actually gives them a chance to regroup, relax just a little bit. They huddle up, talk it over. Then they get a chance to continue their drive.
Open man, Taylor Gabriel. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on 1st down. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's 2nd down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
18.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Looking for the end zone. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again, and it's 3rd down. No move for the field goal unit. They're going to go here with 5 seconds left. Final play of the half. It's Trubisky. And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. Coverage there by the safety, Harrison Smith. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, this from 37. And his kick is right there. It's good. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Trubisky. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down.
And now offensively it's 3rd and 10, and I'm just thinking to myself, actors always say, what's my motivation before a big scene? Right now the play caller's thinking, what have I done before that's worked well that I can go to right now?
Yeah, because they were pretty successful in the first half scoring points. Haven't done anything so far here in the second half. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Everson Griffin on the sack, taken to the 4th round back in 2010. What a steal.
That would be exactly what they were looking for coming out to start the 3rd quarter. Get a sack, get off the field, get the momentum going in their direction.
Get the ball back to your offense, right? Get that momentum because, hey, this lead is very, very slim. Fielded at about the 28. 51 yards on the punt there. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Topper! Bravo!
Again, it's Cook. 4 yards on the pickup there, and now they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Colvin. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8. They're going to try and throw. Eluding the pressure right. This is Johnson. He's got it. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 4th down conversion plays, you usually think 1, 2, 3 yards, maybe 10. Not there. What a huge pickup as the Sticks make a drastic shift forward. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
6-6, pull it high. 5.
From the gun, Colvin, flush to his right. And this will be incomplete.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting at 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. On 2nd down now, it's Cook. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Ready up.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Check curls, check curls, check curls. 58.
General West.
58. Come on.
You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing. Now.
Operating from the gun. Colvin. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
64. Weak. Get.
On first down, Colvin setting up the screen for Cook. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. From the gun on third down, Colvin. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off down at the 2, and he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he has panned it off in a big, big way.
They begin the drive on the ground with Cohen. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Now it's Trubisky. Going up top for Miller. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Trubisky gives to Cohen. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 14 yards in a Chicago first down. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Throwing here, Trubisky. Looking long for Thomas. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Michael Thomas. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far as the Bears push further out in front. Extra point splits the uprights, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or 2 shy of the 30. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Back to throw. Colvin.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Ready.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
80 weapon. 44, go.
Throwing again. Colvin. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Oh, my goodness. Was that a defensive back that got to him with the pressure?
Oh, look at the former defensive back. You're all smiles up here.
I hope everybody can hear my smile on that play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Looking to throw. Colvin. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing him.
On the move to his left. That's caught. It's Thomas. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. So they've been in the red zone 3 times, and it's yielded just 3 points. Can they find the end zone here on 2nd and goal? From the shotgun is Trubisky. And Miller will pull this one in. He's got it for the Bears touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Mitchell Trubisky. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line.
Vikings take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready?
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Back to throw. Colvin. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. Call it a gain of 5. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Colvin. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bilal Nichols in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it will be 4th down.
It's 4th down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. William Jackson with a pick. And they will finally stop him as he's down to the 40-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times. And he's taken down inside the 30. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Oh, Trubisky going to throw. His throw incomplete. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas, but it's going to be 2nd down. They're still throwing the football here. Now, obviously, the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
Yeah, I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. After that sack we just saw, Trubisky and the Bears deal with a 3rd and long. Now it's Trubisky. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Looking to throw. Colvin. And my goodness, another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it. And they will score a pick 6 for a Bears touchdown. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a 4th quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Open here, Adam Thielen. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in the game. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. And now here is another interception. Eddie Jackson picks it, and they will take over at the 26-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
At the 24-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bears, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-4 with a loss. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.